Hey everyone, Sam here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Leader Class Megatronus The Fallen, otherwise known as Megatronus Prime. And Sentinel Prime's words in Transformers 1 about Megatronus being the coolest, the biggest, and the baddest of the Primes definitely hold up here, as this figure is a blast. And why is he not in the box? Well, because I got this as a birthday gift, and I was also kind of too excited to keep I was honestly too excited to keep him in the box for this review, so I went ahead and opened him and started messing around with him. But normally he would be right here. So on the front of the box we have Megatronus in his robot mode, in his tank mode, Transformers Age of the Primes, the 13 Megatronus The Fallen. We got Hasbro, we got 38 steps for transformation here. We got on this side of the box we have another nice artwork there of Megatronus, and on the back here we got a little image there of the 13 with Megatronus, and that looks like Power Master Prime, and I have no idea who that is. I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with the 13 Primes. I know as a Transformers fan I probably should, but not really. I'm not really familiar with them. And on the top of the box we have Megatronus The Fallen, the 13. On the bottom you just have your basic information and a barcode, and on the back of the box you just have all of your product shots there of Megatronus in his robot mode, in his tank mode. Again, 38 steps for transformation, and he does come with the Requiem blaster there, which he can hold as like a fusion cannon there. And that's basically it for the box. So let's check this guy out. And moving right along here, we have Megatronus in his very scary looking tank mode here, and it's a really sizable tank mode as well. So let's get in close there on the details. So we got some nice spikes there on the front, got some furnace detailing over there, spikes done in the silver, got some nice furnace detailing with the yellows here. He does have the big tank barrel, which can rotate side to side and can move up and down. He does have some rolling wheels on the bottom, so he can roll very nicely. Moving on to the back, there's his toes right there. And on the bottom, we just got some robot mode underside, and the legs here. I will talk more about the legs in the transformations because I do have a gripe with them. And there's his head down there. So yeah, he's a very decent looking tank mode. I do quite like him, and he's also got some missile pods like on the top here, as well as a little scope there. Yeah, I do quite like him. As far as accessories go, he does include the Requiem blaster, as I mentioned before, but it's integrated into the tank mode. But he also comes with his staff / spark fuser, which has been really nicely sculpted and painted. And and tip is rubber. I did see the DNA kit. I am gonna get the DNA kit for this guy. Hopefully, I will try and get the DNA kit for him because the DNA kit makes him look 10 times cooler in both modes. Yeah, it's got a machete out there, and it does split in half. And the way the instructions tell you to store it is to just plug it onto the side right here as a whole thing. But I like to split it apart and plug one side onto each side of the tank to give him these little side guns, because it kind of looks like he's got side guns. And as far as other accessories go, he does come with a bunch of unique effects pieces, which mainly look cooler in robot mode, but I'm going to show them off in tank mode. He does come with some fire effects, and they just plug on to the tank mode right here, right there. And then these big pieces just plug on to the top of the turret here. And there we go. And then that just makes the tank mode look like it's on fire, which is pretty cool. And the tank barrel is blast effect compatible here. So I'm just going to take the 86 Magnus blast effects and just plug it into the barrel there. There we go. So now it can look like he's firing artillery shells at any unfortunate Autobots in his path. As far as tank mode size comparisons go, as always, I gotta compare him with 86 Prime. Here he is with his protege, 86 Megatron. here he is with my previous review, and also a bit of a fair comparison because these two are pretty similar in size. A6 Ultra Magnus. You know, just get him out of here. He's a big bot in truck mode. And then finally, I'm gonna compare him with Sentinel. And then finally, I'm gonna compare him with Studio Series The Fallen. And yes, which means I had to transform this wretched thing again. Yeah. So there you go. To get Megatronus into his robot mode, you're going to want to take the two staff sections and just take them off. And then you're going to want to take these sections right here, just pry them open, and we can just take all of this and set that off to the side. And now we can begin with the actual transformation. So we're just going to take these sections, fold them out, take this section right here, just untab it right there, and just leave that alone for now. We'll take these sections right here, just unclip them like so here. We're just going to take this section right here, fold it up. We'll take the legs and extend them down. And one thing about the legs is the legs in the robot mode clips for the legs are stupid tight. And in fact, while transforming them, I'm trying to get a good angle. So maybe I should turn on my red light. There we go. So the robot mode leg clips are super tight that when transforming it, I ended up with a big old stress mark right there, so be careful with those. So we're just going to take the legs and just snap them in. Take this section right here, fold this out, fold out the foot, close it up, just clip that in like that. There we go, fold that out. There we go, just close that up. There we go, now he's got some legs, and then we're just going to rotate his legs at the knee here. And then let me just position this up, so there we go. We fold these sections down, we're going to rotate them at the waist. And that is the lower body all done. So let us just move up here. Okay, so you're going to want to take this section right here, fold it down, rotate it around, and we'll just leave that around for now. We'll take his head, rotate it around, take these sections right here, unclip it, shift it down, rotate it, shift it down all the way, and that will just plug into place like that. Then you're going to take the tread, just collapse it in, then just take this down right here, yep, just collapse that in, there we go, and that should sit like that. Then we're just going to take the section right here, fold it up, and that will just clip into place and lock all that in. I want to splay out the chest panel right here, and this will just clip over the top of that, like so. I want to collapse the arms in, fold up the missile pod, rotate the scope, rotate the arm right there, take the hand, just open that up, flip out the hand, close it back up. Yep, rotate the section around, flip out the hand. There we go. And just close it back up. And there we go. Then we're gonna take the the back barrel there. We're just gonna plug that onto there, and what we are going to like that. That's mainly what I like to do. And then just take the Requiem blaster and plug it onto his arm, and there we go. There we have Megatronus in robot mode, and he looks super duper intimidating. I love the way this guy looks, and he'll look even better once I get my hands on the DNA kit. So let's just get a closer look at that face sculpt there. I love the head sculpt on this guy. Got some nice metallic purple for the head crest there, so nice yellow for the eyes, yellow for the mouse plate. Yeah, he's got like a nice furnace-y mouse plate. Almost kind of looks like a knight's mouth guard. You see, like from medieval knights. Yeah, but he looks amazing all around, and he's built like a tank. Well, because he turns into one. And one thing I forgot to mention about the transformation is there are 2 ports that you can plug the Requiem blaster in, but I like to plug it into the rearmost port right there because it sticks on better. But that's just me. And he's got a nice backpack there, and I like to put the barrel on here because like it kind of reminds me of like, because it kind of makes him look more like Megatron. So it kind of makes it look like Megatron copied that design off of Megatronus. Yeah. But as far as articulation goes, the head is on a ball joint. This will wiggle around. It will look up, down, can do a full 360. The arms can rotate, do a full 360. Do have butterfly joints, can move in and out. Got bicep rotation right there. Got 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrist rotation, the hands can open and close. You got waist rotation, the legs can move forward that far, back, that far, outward, can do the full splits. You got thigh rotation, you got 90 degrees of bend at the knee, knee rotation, the feet can move up, can move down, and you do get ankle tilt. So for a leader, especially a leader of this size and complexity, he does have some pretty decent articulation there. And the Requiem blaster is also blast effect compatible, just as the tank gun was blast effect compatible. The gripe that I do have with this guy is that due to the way his chest transforms, he does not possess a matrix chamber, which would have honestly been cool for like storytelling, because like you could have had him steal the matrix from the Autobots and put it in his chest. That would have been pretty cool. But as far as the staff weapon goes, you can split this apart, and he can hold both halves as their own individual weapon. But I do like to have the staff as one singular weapon in just the one hand, because it looks very intimidating. Yeah, so you can hold the staff, and there you go. And then we can also take those blast effects from earlier and plug them onto his body here, and they will just plug. These larger ones will plug onto the shoulders right there. Got one right there. And then you got the other right there. Just plug that onto the shoulder. There we go. I'm gonna plug these 2 up here. And then look at that. Now he's on fire. For robot mode size comparisons, here he is with 86 Prime, and these 2 stack quite well against each other in terms of size. Here he is with 86 Ultra Magnus, who just towers over him. Yeah, Magnus is huge. Magnus is probably one of the biggest figures that I own in my collection. Here he is with his Bayverse counterpart. Yeah, and yes, I had to transform into. Actually, robot mode is not bad. It's getting this guy in the jet mode that's a real pain, which is why I don't really transform him that much. There we go. Here he is with Sentinel Prime, and Sentinel is just a shorty compared to this guy. How did this guy manage to kill Megatronus when he's like half the size larger than him? It's insane. And then finally, here we have the Master and Apprentice side by side. Here he is with 86 Megatron. And these 2 look quite good together. So, to get Megatronus back into tank mode, we're gonna just take off the barrel here, take off the Requiem blaster, and I forgot to show this in the robot mode transformation, but the Requiem blaster extends and retracts as well. Yep, and then it just goes, and then this peg folds back for tank mode, and then just folds forward for robot mode. There we go. And then as for the barrel, you just take those, just fold that peg out, and then you just plug it on to the blaster right there, and then we can just set that off to the side. Yep, and we shall begin. So we're going to take the head, rotate it 180. I'm going to take the arms, flip this panel down, fold in the hand, close it back up. this panel, flip in the hand, close it up, rotate the arms 180 at the bicep there. Then you're going to want to just undo the chest, collapse it in, and then rotate. Well, actually, no, because then you're going to want to take this panel section right here, extend these out, fold all this down, and then we can rotate this around and then just leave all of that there for now. I'm going to take the tread sections right there and fold them up, and then we're going to splay them out to the sides. Then you're going to take this section right here, fold it up, rotate it around, then fold it up to the rest of the way. And you're going to want to make sure that this tank portion is perfectly aligned, otherwise this will not plug in correctly. So you're just going to want to make sure all of that is lined up so everything can just plug in correctly. We're going to rotate the waist 180 there. We're going to fold these sections up. There we go. And then you can just take all of this and just collapse it down. And all of this will just connect up at the front to form the front of the tank mode right there. Then we're going to focus on the legs. So you're just going to want to unclip these from the sides here and adjust, shift them up, Bumblebee movie shockwave style. And they will just plug in like that. Then you're going to rotate this. You're going to rotate this section right here, fold this panel up, fold down the tread, fold in the foot, and then fold the tread back up. And we're going to do the same thing here for the other leg. This will all just rotate in. There we go. Fold that around. There we go. Then you're just going to want to make sure that both of these leg sections are nice and clipped into place. You want to make sure both the leg sections are clipped in nice and securely. Then you're going to want to take his butt flap, fold it down. These like to come undone on you. And then these two sections will just fold down and plug in right there on each side. And that will just solidify the back of the tank. And I just knocked Sky over. There we go. Then once all of that is done, we can take this panel right here and just clip it in like so. Take the arms, just shift them in right there. Then we're going to take the cannon there and it will just plug in between the two arms like so. And all of that will just plug into place like that. There we go. And that should just solidify all of that into place. And then the last thing we're going to do is take the two staff sections and plug them onto the front of the tank. And there we go. There we have Megatronus in tank mode. So there you have my review of Age of the Prime's Megatronus, and he is an awesome figure. I love the way he looks good, he poses well, transformation is fun and complex. I do not like how tightly those legs clip in though. It's kind of unfortunate that I got a stretch mark on him because of that. But yeah, overall he's just a lovely figure to mess around with, and you will have such a blast with this guy. So, there's Age of the Prime's Megatronus. So don't forget to check out my other videos, and I will see you in the next one.